Yes, hello and welcome. I think we're live already. My name is Patrick. I'm the host for this session. Let's be diverse. About myself, I'm a host of a podcast called Pat's Chat, a weekly podcast with awesome people that share their stories about entrepreneurship, their successes and failures. But today, I'm really blessed that I do not have one, but three guests. One will join very shortly. Two are already here. Three fantastic guests that join me for the panel discussion today. So I quickly introduce the panelists. Let's start with the lady, Emilia Zainol, woman entrepreneur, human resource professional, advocate of strong corporate. Emilia is the managing director of Q3 Management Solutions, a company that provides business and management consultancy and advisory that believes in inspiring and empowering people to create sustainable growth and success. She also focused in assisting companies translate their best ideas into improved bottom line results. Her strength in people skills, creativity, and resilience has inspired and will continue to inspire more people at all levels. That's Emilia. And then we have Lilitha already joined. So Lilitha Govindasamy, she's a youth advocate, a personal branding and acceptance coach, social entrepreneur trainer, and education counselor. She's the CEO of two companies, LG Marketing Consultancy Services. She runs her education, counseling, and marketing services for the past 4 years. And she's also the CEO of LG Design Online Boutique, which was featured in Malay Mail back in November 2016 as a rising young entrepreneur. She's the founder and president of Pertubuhan Gelombang Muda Malaysia. I hope that was correctly pronounced. Also famously known as Youth Wave Malaysia, a youth-centric NGO that focuses on social well-being issues of youth nationwide and also internationally. And also Lilitha was listed in Britishpedia, the third edition of Successful People in Malaysia. And then finally, we have Benny Chia. Benny recently retired after 41 years with PwC, that's PricewaterhouseCoopers. Yeah, you heard correctly, 41 years in the very same company, but congratulations for your retirement also. He is an active Toastmaster and have empowered many members in leadership and communication skills. His creativity comes from dabbling with Latin ballroom and Latin dancing when living away from Kuala Lumpur. Awesome guests. Very warm welcome to everyone. And as we have 25 minutes only, we dig right into our topics about diversity and women empowerment. And diverse, we are here today. I would say four races, three generations, more or less. I think so. And of course, two genders also very, very diverse. But we're all sitting here in Malaysia. And of course, it's a global summit. There are people all over the world watching. And many Westerners might even ask nowadays, do we still need women empowerment? Aren't we at a stage that we have equality already? When you look at Malaysia specifically here, I'm wondering, do we still need women empowerment? Emilia, how about you starting? You're kicking this off.
Thank you, Patrick. Hi, everyone. Thank you for Patrick for the introduction, very brief introduction. Come back to your question. Do women still need empowerment nowadays? Yeah. I can say when we talk about empowerment, it's not only about the empowerment. Yeah, when we talk about women empowerment, it's not about women empowering women. I think we have been talking about that a lot. Women empower women. When we talk about empowerment, it must be woman empower woman, men empower woman, and woman empowerment. So everyone should empower each other. I guess when we talk about empowerment, it's all about the way that I think Malaysia. If you see Malaysia, we've been I think since day one we are diverse. Look at Lilitha, look at Benny. We've been together in the country that have a we call it race that actually we live together, we eat together. So not many countries that like Malaysia, I can say so, right? We go to school together. So when we talk about empowerment, everyone should empower each other. Hope that yeah. What do you think? The rest of the panel.
Or maybe I can just jump in here, Emilia. I think that's a good start. And I can perhaps share a little bit from a corporate perspective, and I've been there for 41 years. I think Malaysia is on a journey. And I think the first step is that we are recognizing the need for greater diversity at the board and the C-suites. And I'm glad to know that in 2015, we have created our Malaysian chapter of the 30% Club, a club that started from the UK. And the essence of this club is to bring on board women onto corporate Malaysia. And ladies and gentlemen, I have got some statistics to share. As of December 19, out of the top 100 PLCs in Malaysia, we've only achieved about 28%. On target, but we're still not there. But if you look up from a wider perspective, out of all the PLCs in Malaysia, we've only achieved 16%. So there's still a lot of work to be done there. And I think for corporate Malaysia to recognize that it is the step forward, it's not easy. It is not about meeting a target, it's about recognizing diversity on board. And I think the fact that we recognize the ability for women to bring innovation, new ideas, new perspective, new insight on the board is the right step for Malaysia.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I mean, we pre-discussed this topic before, right? And one of the biggest challenges, and I think that's a global one also, is when women drop out of the workforce because they are getting children or getting pregnant and then getting children and then not coming back. I mean, what is your perspective on that, or the ideas on how we can bring women back to the workforce?
When we talk about how to bring back women to the workforce, for the past several years, I think in Malaysia, this also another, one of the issues that has been talked about, how to bring them back. I think government agency like Telecom and all that also have a similar focus for the past few years, that actually they give opportunity, they give some sort of learning, coaching for the women who left the workforce for many years after having their children and all that, and still continuing until now. But I think one of the things that we talk about is the incentive. Can by giving incentive to all these women, are they actually willing to come back to the workforce? I can say that incentive is good. Yeah, it's good. But if let's say we can have flexibility, that's great. It will be better. It will be better. So because incentive, something like not everyone actually look into incentive in terms of monetary incentive and all that. But if let's say we can give flexibility for women to choose, kind of what the kind of work, or flexibility in terms of time, that will give a better time management, family management to women. I can give you an example. I think for the past 2 years we've been talking about one of the topic is about maternity leave. Right, in Malaysia we get 60 days maternity leave. For the past, I think 2 years or 3 years, they've been talking about to have 90 days maternity leave, which actually is good. But personally, I would say that I will welcome 90 days, but I will most welcome if we have another 2 years of flexibility. Flexibility means that if the woman want to come back to work, but they still want to maybe work from home, or they want to have a little bit flexible in time and all that, so the woman can choose. If they want to stay 90 days at home, please do so. If they want to come back to work, after 60 days, why not? The way that I see this, different women have a different challenges Yeah, different women have different challenges, especially when they're married, they have children, their children go to school and all that. So the first 2 years of having children, for example, or to have baby is the most crucial time, especially for new mummies. Because in Malaysia, I think one of the challenge for women like us is not only about the work. Sometimes the traffic, the traffic, the support in terms of nanny, nursery, and all that. That also another challenge when you have family.
A lot to organize, yeah, and
We love to organize, and we love, especially new mummies, they want to experience everything, but does not mean that they prefer to stay home. The reason why I think some of them prefer to stay home because they don't have that flexibility when they go back to work.
yeah.
Can I just stretch that point a little bit, Emilia? I think
Sure.
you are right. And I think one of the things that my previous firm recognized is that the first year of the child is the most important development year. And I think in the 90 days maternity leave, we've allowed our employees to flex it over 1 year, so they can choose when they can stretch that 90 days. And I think that's also a good recognition that we need our ladies back on board. Some of the structural changes that I can perhaps share with you is that it's not just about the 90 days, it's about what about support system. So I think this firm has also given an avenue for two things. One is a mother support system to have conversations while at work, but more importantly, they introduced a parent network including the fathers. And it's kind of like a game changer to bring the fathers on board to have the conversation among the moms during the office hours to try to help to engender diversity and bring back women on board. So I think in terms of career comeback, there's a lot of initiatives out there. I think you need a willpower to make it work.
Okay, awesome. Lilitha, I know you have a lot to contribute to that topic specifically. Now is your time.
I was just waiting for my chance, actually. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Okay. So my perspective here, as a youngster, being here advocating for not only the women but the entire youth here, actually, I think it's not the problem here is not only at workplace how these women have to juggle between being a new the new stage of parenting and so forth, but I also feel that when they leave for maternity leaves and all, there should be equal paternity leaves as well, whereby once this first time being a mom, when they are there, they need support from the husband, right? So they do need support from the husband, but how if their job task, their position, maybe their role in the company, in the corporate company, maybe it could be like one of the directorial, maybe one of the I would say on the top position, and then there's a need for them to make some decision, and they have to actually, come into the office. So that's where this paternity leave actually a vital role for the husbands on the other side. So I really feel that 3 months at times, I also hear some of my male used to be back in my corporate time, working corporate world. So I do have newly fathers who've been complaining, why do they get 3 months leave, and we have to be like, oh no, I have this to do, I have that to do, my body is weak, pantang, we all those things, we have all those things. But fair enough, I think the men should be given a chance as well, to stay at home and go through the whole process with the women or alone, maybe after 2 months, maybe just take 2 months, and then the ladies can come back and pass it back to the guys. I don't know how relevant or how, how can this be imposed? Like ridiculous. But I'm just telling this just out of my mind.
So what Lilitha said, that parenting is not not only woman's job. Is parenting is everyone's job. Fathers and mothers,
Exactly.
we are sharing. That is a sharing responsibility.
Point taken.
Yes.
But can I also respectfully just also bring another point. I think career comeback is not just about what you just spoke about. I think career comeback also involves sponsorship. And to sponsor a lady or a woman to management levels, directorship level, is something that needs to be done well as well. And I think sponsorship is also another aspect to help come back to the workforce.
That's a very good point, Benny. When you say like women on top, like women can also climb the career ladder, and well, this goes like the question goes back to the male here in this round, because basically we see a lot of male-dominated boards, and obviously it's quite difficult for women to go into these boards unless you have something like quotas or something like that. How would you see that, Benny? Is it so hard for guys, for male, to empower women? Are they scared like that they lose power if more women are in the boards?
I will first start by saying that I've been in an organization where we got a very strong, capable women leaders, and I've seen them in action. I'd like to perhaps address your question by looking very holistically. It's a question of trust. And can I suggest looking at trust from 5 perspectives? I'm not going to say a lot of things. TRUST. Perhaps T is to our thinking pattern got to be remodeled to look at common grounds. R is to be relevant. U, uniqueness, is diversity. S, singleness or purpose. And T, teachable, because they say that if you're teachable, your teacher will appear. So let me just say one part about this trust, T. Thinking remodeled to look at common ground. And I think the question about diversity of males and female, I want to use a metaphor. I'm using a coin to represent 2 sides. The male and female are on equal sides of the coin. And why do I use a coin? Because the coin tells me 3 things. 1, it is circular. And it's circular, the value of this 50-cent coin applies equally to both the male and the female, which means that guys and ladies have the same equal value. The second thing is that this coin, if I were to flip it or spin it, there's a 50% chance of flipping on either head or tail, which means that gender neutral, a guy or a girl can easily have the voice in the boardroom. And the third point about using a coin, ladies and gentlemen, is that it serves a function. If I use this coin to operate a payphone, it doesn't matter whether it's on the head or the tail, which means that it is gender equal. And so I think this can be the first common grounds for us to build trust to allow gender diversity. And I think above all, in the area of trust and bring ladies on board, I think we just need to think of the coin as a common ground to start it off.
What a metaphor, Benny.
Beautiful metaphor.
I'm impressed.
But I can agree with Benny. There is a difference. Of course, male and female, we have differences as well. I think we have to actually acknowledge that. Yeah, that what makes us different and beautiful the way that we are. But having two, diversity on the board can give that beautiful or basically anonymous decision that makes on board. Because we are different, everyone can see from a different perspective. We can actually see maybe there's certain thing that male board can see, but certain things actually female on the board can see. So when we actually can put everything on the table during discussion, I'm sure we will get better decision at the end of any decision making that we make.
The coin metaphor was just beautiful, but I think it left Lilitha just speechless.
No,
if it was that easy, right? You
really
thought if it was that easy, right?
Yeah, because I think for me, like there's so many of us, my age group, I'm 30 by the way. Hello, hi everyone, I'm 30. So I feel like,
more than 10 years ago.
And also,
And double your age.
No, I mean, her personal experiences, and I've been a manager in a very young age. I mean, managing a group of 34 of them, where they are way, older than me, and most of them are males. I do have, feedbacks that you are, when naturally we tend to have this OCD kind of attitude, females, by the way. I'm not to offend anyone here, but I'm just telling on based on my personal experiences working with people and my personal character as well. I'm quite transparent here. So, the bossy attitude and, being OCD and you want everything to be perfect. So these are some things that it might actually clash with the man's ego, the gentleman's ego. And it's quite difficult to work with them because you already have this thing like, I'm a woman and I cannot let the guys overtake me, those kind of things. Okay, this is when I was way younger. And okay, now that I'm, much older right now, so a lot of things changed eventually, but yeah, lesson learned. But yeah, the mentality and all, because I faced all this when I was back with the bank in the corporate industry, when I was with the university, everything, every stages, all the stage, I felt I was dominating, but the fact is I feel I've been dominated. There's different. It was contradicting actually. It was just emotionally, and we had a lot of problems. But of course today I'm here. I can share with the audience. I can share with you guys the experiences. Hating when I was way younger because emotions actually take control. But still. I still feel the same actually. Maybe as Benny said, not everywhere Benny is there, right? So Benny and his team, they're not everywhere. So
I have good news for you. I have good news for you is that I think I've been through 41 years
Really?
of corporate life and I've seen a lot of change. And right now we're in the area of disruption. I can tell you that disruption is a catalyst for change. And that catalyst can really bring forth diversity in terms of not just gender, culture, and everything that's on the table. So we are in the right moment for us to change the narrative, have conversations around diversity.
I agree, Benny. That
Beautiful.
is why I
I
have a lot
can
of
see a new
youngsters
company.
watching. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry?
but from my experience, guys, I can see nowadays if we have several companies, right? If we have we also have young leaders, young companies who actually led by very young, we call it CEOs, for example, below than 35. They are quite open to women to be, to be equal to them. Maybe a little bit challenges if let's say we go to a slightly big corporation and all that, because we have most very very senior who really struggle to adapt the new way of corporate. But what I can see for the past few years, if we have a not new, basically young CEOs, MD and all that, they're quite open in actually giving ways to a woman to be, to be at the board or to be same level to them.
Okay.
From
Awesome.
experience.
I know, sorry, I have to interrupt. I know we could talk for another hour. Unfortunately, we're running already out of time. I checked quickly if there was a question, but if there's not, I have, of course, one last question. If you can give some ideas and input, and I think it's all about empowerment today, also about inspirations. And I know you three are really inspirational people. So my last question, if you can answer in a minute, or let's say a minute each. How do you address women that think they have to be housewives just because they are being told so, right? I mean, that happens still quite often. It's like, oh, you just marry, stay home, and then you take care of the kids. What do you tell them? How do you motivate them? What is your inspiring words to them to go back to the workforce? Let's start with Emilia.
Right. Patrick, put this way. For me, very simple. Women can choose to be at home as a housewife if, let's say, that's what decision that they made, as a couple. Or they also can choose to be a housewife if, let's say, the decision made by herself to be at home. There is nothing wrong to be housewife. There's also nothing wrong for women to go back to work. There's nothing wrong with both. But what I can say generally, if let's say a woman decide to stay home as a housewife, always think that we don't stay home just to take care of children, just to take care of family. There's always a lot of things that we can do. For example, we can continue learning, keep continue update ourselves with what happening around us, because one day when we decide, let's say, okay, maybe the children start to grow up and all that, because I also have grown up children, right? For example, you might feel one day I want to go back to workforce, right?
Okay.
So when the women actually decide to go back to workforce, they are ready, because they already upgrade themselves while they actually staying home. So that's, I think, the things that I can, because
Perfect.
I know it's short time.
I'm sorry,
Benny.
I have to stick with the minute. So Benny also gets a minute, and Lilitha. So Benny, I hand over to you.
Very good. I would say that I will recognize even my wife, who became a homemaker, and without her, the family will not be the same. So I think they've taken a role, and we respect that. I think what's more important, I leave to everyone here, is to pay it forward, whether you're a homemaker or whatever. Pay it forward to bring another individual to experience and be the best of themselves, whatever they do. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Benny. Lilitha, last words.
For me, of course, I encourage, while you are young, explore as much you can, and grab all the opportunity that you can. You have to do it because you have the energy, so go for it. If you're in love, get married, make babies, do whatever you want, but your journey has to go, your journey has to, still ongoing. So pursue what you really think. Like, some of them, maybe your dream is to be a housewife, or maybe a billionaire's wife. Maybe you just want to be at home, and I don't know what you want to do, but you still can opt for that. I mean, it's your dream after all. Pursue and go for whatever that you're dreaming. What is your dream? Just go for it. But
okay, awesome.
Do not waste your young age. Yeah.
That's great. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Lilitha. And also, I would like quickly to mention Patty's comment is really awesome. Maybe final comment: don't let other opinions define who you are. I really like that. Thank you so much, Lilitha, Emilia, and Benny, for this awesome talk.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm here with you all the time, so I'm coming up and you see me. I'm in the background all the time. Did an amazing job, and thank you very much for Sangari, Mohammed. They are here the whole day. I don't know how you do that. Thank you, Hashim. Thank you, Rosanna, Shalini, Bagia, all of you for all the comments. Please, on the expert side, you can go to this Facebook post and you can still talk to the audience, because they are there, and you can just comment on these links and engage with them and answer their questions. I have to close the session because we have the PR branding session coming up. And thank you for the audience for watching, and it was an amazing share. I know it's short, everyone wants to talk longer, but we have 70 live sessions to push into 4 days, so I have to be really like a Toastmaster. I have my timer, right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Patrick. Amazing how you put this together. And see you guys later.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Lilitha and
You
Emilia,
too.
thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
It began with a bold vision to build KL Metropolis, a development that would establish a new international trade and exhibition district in Malaysia, built in partnership with the government by NASA Group's property arm, NASA TTDI. The crown jewel of this grand vision is the Malaysia International Trade and Exhibition Centre, the preferred